Okay, so question 8. Watch the video above and calculate the height of the cylinder. Sorry, that's the video that I'm making now. Okay, the height is measured in centimeters. The surface area of a cylinder is 471 centimeters squared. If the radius is 5 centimeters, what is the height? So this question actually involves working backwards using the equation for surface area of a cylinder. So first of all, we need to go back and recall what the equation for surface area of a cylinder is. Now, if you don't remember, you can go back to the picture, just scroll up, but I'm just going to write it here, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. And please forgive the bad writing. It's getting a bit better. I've got a mouse now, so hopefully that's going to be a bit better. So surface area is equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. We are finding the height here. So that means h is going to be the only letter which we don't know the value of. We need to find the value of it. We know that surface area, or SA, is 471 centimeters squared. So that means where I see SA, I'm going to replace it with 471 centimeters squared. The radius is 5 centimeters. So R is going to be replaced by the number 5. Okay, let's go ahead and do this together. So SA, where I see SA, I'm going to replace it with 471 equals, then we've got 2 pi, and because they're stuck together, remember, when you've got a number and a letter or a symbol stuck together, there's always an invisible times joining them together. So there's actually an invisible times here and invisible times here. 2 times pi times r squared. Remember we said r was 5, so I'm going to replace r with the number 5 and the squared. Don't forget the squared. Now we've gotten rid of all this, we've gotten rid of all this, or sorry, we replaced it with the numbers from the question. Continuing on, plus 2 pi rh plus 2 times pi times r times h. So there's actually an invisible times joining these letters and symbols together. Now, if you don't know, pi is just a symbol that represents a very long number, 3.14, and it keeps going on and on and on. You can go look it up. Our radius was 5. So again, going back to the question, we're replacing or substituting the r with 5, and the height is an unknown. So I'm going to put that in a nice bold color so we remember that that is what we are trying to find. Now, in an equation, when you want to get the letter on its own, you want to find out what the letter is, you need to move all the numbers to one side and get the letter on its own on another side. So we're going to do that together. First things first, I'm going to put this in brackets, 2 times pi times 5 squared. We're going to put that in a calculator, 2 times pi times 5 squared. Put it in brackets so that that whole calculation is nice and, you know, it's in the same spot. 2 times 5 squared, that gives you 157.0796, etc., etc. Okay, so this here is actually like saying 157.06. Now we need to be exact. 157.06. So we've just figured what this is what the value of this is, 157.06. Now I want to get rid of this. I want to move this to this side because I want to eventually end up with just h on its own. So the first step is to get rid of this, and then we'll work with what we have here. Okay, so all I need to do is 471 minus the answer we just got. And the reason for that is, in order to get rid of this and move it to this side, we need to do the opposite. So the opposite of positive 157.06 is actually minus 157.06. And what you do to one side, you always do the other in an equation. So we're going to go to our calculator and do 471 minus our answer. And the reason we're doing 471 minus the answer is so that we have the full number that we just got, and it's 100% accurate. 313.9203. So now on this side, this is actually going to be 313.03. And sorry, I'm using a lot of different colors now. 313.03 ... equals 2 times pi times 5 times h. 2 times pi times 5 times h. Now, we've got to work out what 2 times pi times 5 is. So we'll go to our calculator. Oh, I need to save this. 313.92. I'm just going to copy paste that. Copy it, sorry. Okay, 2 times pi times 5 equals 31.415. So this here is equal to 31.415 times h. So that is actually like saying 31.45 h, because you can stick the number and the letter together and just make the times invisible. Or we can just say times h. It doesn't really matter. We're almost there. We want to find h now. To get rid of the 31.45 to get h on its own, we need to do the opposite of times. So we need to divide this side by 31.45. So divide by 31.45, divide by 31.45. And that's going to give us h on its own, which is the height. So we'll go back. We're not going to press AC because that's going to probably delete everything, isn't it? No, it won't. So then I'm going to go Control V. Oh no, it won't work. 313.03 divided by answer, because that's what we're trying to divide here. And that gives us 9.96. And we can round that off to 10 centimeters. So 9.96. H is equal to 9.96, which gives you 10 centimeters. So you should be able to write 9.96 or 10 centimeters as your answer.